Sadly, suicide remains the biggest killer of Australians aged between 15 and 24 years old, but it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, this week is Youth Insearch's End Youth Suicide Week, and we're joined by the mental health expert Leanne Hall and Ricky, who participated in the group's programme when she was 14 years old. We'll start with you, Leanne. There's still so much stigma around mental health and particularly suicide as well. How important is it to have these open conversations?
It is critical to have these conversations. Suicide is still the biggest killer of our young Australians, and we know that 1 in 3 are experiencing really, really high rates of psychological distress. So the more we talk, the more we actually reduce the stigma and get to know the facts and have these conversations, the more we can encourage young people to reach out.
I feel like we often have the conversations here. We've spoken about our own mental health struggles on the show. Are You OK Day is become bigger and bigger every year. But it feels like after that, people aren't sure what to do and what support is available. Youth Insert support, how does that actually help and support young people, what you do?
Well, first and foremost, we're a peer-to-peer organisation. So what that means is that we have young people with lived experience who go through our program, they're trained to become leaders, and they facilitate the support groups and workshops. The other important part that we provide is one-on-one case management by social workers. So young people in our program get the benefit of the one-on-one support, but also the peer-to-peer support as well, which is so critical for young people.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, we're going to bring Ricky in. Ricky, you've been very brave in speaking about yours, and we just talked about how important the conversation is. Could you tell us a little bit about your journey with mental health?
Yeah, absolutely. So my journey with mental health has been quite a rocky one. I myself was suicidal as well before I joined Youth Insearch. So as a 13-year-old, I was self-harming. I was experiencing all of those feelings of anxiety, depression. I was so lost. I honestly thought nobody could even care if I was gone, or I thought I was so worthless and I didn't even matter. I tried self-harming in many different ways. I tried taking my own life by starving myself weeks at a time. I tried overdosing, hurting myself. But I don't think I wanted to die. I think I wanted the pain to stop.
Ricky, you're an extraordinary young woman. You live in regional Queensland. Was it hard to access support?
Absolutely. It's the hardest thing out here. We're literally so isolated. We have nowhere really to turn. We have maybe if we're at school, we have some supports there, but kids at school, they don't always trust their adults at school, I suppose. Like, they feel like if they open up to them, it's going to get taken further or something, depending on what the case is. But support out here is definitely the most hardest to get out. Yeah, especially once you're...
I was going to say... Sorry, you go ahead. Apologies. Especially once you're out here so isolated, you have nowhere really to turn to.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge part of it is that feeling that you're alone, you know, and you can only kind of live your own life, and sometimes when someone's trying to tell you how to feel, even in helping, that can be the biggest detriment to it. What would you say, though, Ricky, maybe to any listeners who might be struggling with their mental health?
It doesn't matter where you are, there's always going to be help. Just make sure that you reach out because it's so important. I thought there was no going back for me, but look at where I am. Like, I'm now an accredited leader. I'm on the program council. I'm looking to move out. I've graduated school. I got school captain.
Well, Ricky, you are sensational. We love that you were brave and shared your story with us this morning. As a parent, I'm often going, what can we do? Yeah. Well, good news. Leanne is actually hosting a live stream event this evening to answer questions on mental health and also provide insights and tips on how to talk to a loved one who's struggling. You can head to the website below, it's on the screen now, to participate. Leanne and Ricky, thank you so much for joining us today. It's so important.
Sure is. Thank you very much for having us.